Good evening, everybody. Orange A here with another Adventures of Aileen video, and tonight we're going to bring you a special edition. This is going to be a basic guide for team building and guild wars. I'm going to show you the basics of how to build a counter team and how to hopefully get some more stars in your next guild wars. So to start, what we're going to do is I'll just explain my setup here. I got one team, this blue team over here. This is going to be your team. Red team over here is going to be the team you want to target in guild wars. So I'm going to highlight a very specific team comp tonight, but I want to make it clear that you can do this for almost any composition. And in fact, if people in the comments want to leave me specific compositions they would like to see countered, I would be happy to do that for them and even record me countering it and put it in a video. So let's get started. For this video, I chose two basic things for the enemy team and then a third kind of a variable slot. So first of all, you see the enemy team here has a tank and a support character. I selected Engelbert and Ayaka today. You could replace Engelbert with Mont. Soon you'll be able to replace Engelbert with like Warrior of Light. You could replace Engelbert with a lot of things. Any tank. Support, Ayaka is replaceable by so many supports. You could see Ramza, you could see Adelard, Phoebe, anybody who is meant to support the team. Those are very common things in Guild Wars, a tank and a support. Okay, so in this example, I'm not going to try and counter the tank and support. I'm going to match the tank and the support. I happen to have the exact same tank and the exact same support. I'm going to assume in this video that neither one of us is doing some crazy build. Like, no one's going pure DPS Ayaka that's going to pop off and hard carry this thing, and Engelbert is building tanky. So true support Ayaka, true support Engelbert. There might be some variance in the gear, but I'm going to assume it's not enough to make them widely different. Okay, so what's next? This empty box right here is next. Box 2 on both sides. This is where I'm going to focus my counter build on. A very common... Also, this is going to be a damage character. Every team has to run damage or they're trolling. So here, I'm going to fill in Orlando as a damage character on the other team. Here's a very common Guild Wars team and a team that I regularly try and counter. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, you know where my box 2 is going. It's going to Aileen, because Aileen's my girl. But Aileen also is the perfect counter matchup to Orlando. She has elemental advantage, she's piercing, and he's weak against those things. So, the idea here is slot 1, these two tanks counter each other out. Slot 3, these two healers cancel each other out. So the variable slot, the slot that I'm trying to get a leg up on, is slot 2. I'm targeting an Orlando, a tank, and a healer with my tank healer and the counter to Orlando, Aileen. In theory, on paper, this squad should never lose to this squad. Now the AI is going to do all sorts of crazy things, and we've seen that, but if I face this team in Guild Wars, if my team goes against this team, my team should win 90-some% of the time, and we'll see if that happens. I ran this exact thing today in Guild Wars, so let's go check out how that went. Alright, so let's jump into battle. This is my Engelbert, Aileen, Ayaka versus the enemy Engelbert, Orlando, Ayaka. So the first thing I want to point out is that I put my Engelbert in slot 3. He put his Engelbert in slot 1. That is going to force the action to the left side of the map. My slot 3 Engelbert will go straight forward. His slot 1 Engelbert will come to my team. Because I'm built to beat this team and I have a lot of slash resist, I'm not worried about grouping up, or I might have run the whole thing to the right. But let's just see how this plays out. So my Engelbert got in a good position. He's going to tank some damage. Everybody's just doing their buffs. We got Ayaka doing her thing. Okay, Taunting Blade from their Engelbert. That's going to be big. Going to have a couple attacks focused on him. I can already see one problem, and that's that my Aileen is going to limit burst and then not be able to hit straight through Ingle. But she has 2 range, so somebody will move to the side eventually. Right, but so far, what we've thought would happen is happening. The 2 tanks are matching up straight onto each other, and nobody's dying. Some people are taking damage, and Ayaka is healing and buffing. But there you go. Big moment in the fight right there. Let's go back and watch that highlight reel play again. Here's this DPS. Here's my DPS. My DPS is the counter. Watch what happens. She walks over there and auto attacks him for almost 3k and kills him. Okay. Now, Ayaka is going to bring him back to life. Still not concerned. He still can't hurt my team. And even though both of our tanks and our healers are doing their job by tanking and healing, my DPS is clearly outperforming his DPS. This is going to give me the advantage. Now, this looks like it's going to be a really long fight with Ingleberts slapping each other to death. But look, my Aileen can hurt the Cid, and that Cid is having a really hard time doing damage into my comp. So it's pretty safe to say that my counter build is working. We're going to watch the rest of this play out. There, Aileen kills Cid for the 2nd time. Ayaka does not have full life anymore. Okay, now, Ayaka is recently turned into a nuking monster, and she's going to start targeting Aileen with Holy and Meteor. I think they changed the AI a couple days ago because she is way more willing to do this now. But my Ayaka is going to keep pace and do some healing. See if Aileen can get an attack in. Yep, almost killed her, and now, ooh, rough. But Aileen did her job. Aileen did her job. My Ayaka summons to finish off that Ayaka. Great. And we're going to play this out. You can see how this works out now. The Ingleberts are going to continue countering each other completely. My Ayaka is still alive. She'll cast some spells, and I will eventually win the fight. Slowly. Courage. Okay, great. Now, right here, Aileen is dead for me. I don't have very much damage left in my comp, but I got 3 stars. I have done my job in Guild Wars today. I'm going to eventually hit another team with everything I have left. Probably target somebody with an Inglebert or something so they'll use Courage or try and get Ayaka's limit breakout. And if I can do that, I've earned 3 stars, so I've done my job, and I've done a little bit more. So because I built a counter match, I was able to win fairly decisively. It would have been a lot better if Aileen would have survived. But I've done my job, and now my team will benefit from having me on it as opposed to having to carry me. Alright. And now this was a very specific comp that I happened to run today. And like I said before, if you have a comp that you are struggling with in Guild Wars, or you have a comp that you were guild struggles dealing with, leave that comp in the comments and I will happily put them over here. And I will show you a very easy way to counter it over here. There's more ways to do it. This way is just the simple negate the tank, negate the support, and counter the only remaining matchup. I think that's the simplest way to do it. There are more complicated ways to do it, and some team comps that the enemy might run could require some more complex strategies. But leave any team down there in the comments, and we will see what we can do. All right, thanks everybody. Have a great night, and we will see you next time.